Captain Avaloo Suzette Evans reporting from Starship Dorado. After months of intergalactic travel, my crew has finally reached the farthest point of the galaxy known to man, or any other species for that matter. What lies before us appears to be a never-ending expanse of darkness, very few stars visible to us in the distance. My crew has been through so much together to get to this point. So many battles, so many lives lost. They'll all be remembered. Every navigator, communications expert, engineer, cadet...
All first-year cadets report to the beginning training auditorium in 10 minutes for orientation. Or you can chicken out. These newbies don't exactly look all that impressive.
Okay, so I may not exactly be Captain Kirk quite yet, and we may also... Well, I mean, we haven't. If you want to use technical terms, we haven't left Earth just yet, but with enough hard work and determination, I'm sure to get to the captain spot. When the time's right. Until then, I guess I'll have to say, this is first-year cadet, space explorer, brazen adventurous, and the future captain of Starship Dorado, Avaloo Evans, reporting for duty. Alright, so I know that since I'm just a newbie here, this isn't an actual official report or anything. But one day when I'm captain, it's going to be great to look back at all these cadet recordings. Speaking of captains, if I had known our captain was going to be a god, I would have put more effort into making my cracked and hangnail-ridden nails look just a tad nicer. The first day, the new recruits and I all got to meet Captain Bashara. Kamal. He told us to call him Kamal. A ruggedly handsome and charming man, at least 6 feet tall, gorgeous deep brown eyes and wispy yet somehow impeccably tidy dark hair. For our tour of the ship, SS Dorado. And what a tour it turned out to be. This ship really is the most beautiful thing I have ever had the honor of flying on. I mean, yes, okay, I know I haven't yet really flown on any ship that could compare to one of this class, but I mean, after reading manuals upon manuals and researching blueprints for a couple years at the academy, a cadet starts to imagine their dream ship, and boy, this one delivers! So I can only ask for forgiveness as I vomit the exposition worthy of such a vessel. With its 3-story design accommodating a mere 34 crew members chosen for the mission, this thing really feels a bit more like a luxury liner than one of the brigade's ships. The engine room is kept below the main deck, along with the thruster chambers that sort of branch off into a fin at the back. Also, below the main deck, in a very separate compartment that makes up the oval primary section of the ship, is the library and parlor room, used for recreation. I wasn't kidding about the vomit. But, I'm done. For now. I can't make any promises about future me, because I tend to get excited and vomit a lot. Vomit words, that is, not vomit. Alright, anyway. We followed Captain we followed Kamal in his rugged swagger through the parlor and finally saw another crew member, which was exciting. We were the first to board the ship, so it was pretty barren upon arrival. But this guy was there, just kind of standing there. He had a name tag that said Jared, but he was the farthest thing from your everyday Jared I've ever seen. First of all, I try not to stare, but I'm like 88% sure there is something inhuman about him. Maybe it was the haziness he had about him. No, I mean his face was literally hazy. Or blurry. Whatever adjective you'd like to describe a blurred face on an existing... Second of all, we don't even wear name tags on this ship, so I'm not sure where he could have gotten his hands on something so... I guess... official looking? Another cadet was standing next to me, a tall, skinny recruit by the name of Chip Mueller. So I asked him about the name tag situation. He simply adjusted his round glasses in the direction of Jared, and then asked, "What name tag?" So you know what I think? I think I'm going to drop it for now. I'm sure I'll see Jared around over the course of the expeditions, and I'll learn more about him then. Maybe not. That would be fine too. Continuing along the bottom of the SS Dorado are the emergency escape pods and the brig, located far enough apart that I don't necessarily want to say it's a design flaw, but on principle, I'm gonna call it out as a design flaw. Of course, I didn't say anything of the sort to Captain, but come on! That's gonna take a while to get used to. He looks like the type of person you definitely want to add a title to. Anyway, above the brig is the greenhouse, providing a sort of backup generator of oxygen and food supply located adjacent to the med bay. Upon arriving, we were greeted by a very kind gentleman named Dr. Cook, whose warm smile made all of us feel more comfortable, even though we were each mandatorily injected with 6 different needles shortly after his introduction. That was the last part of our tour, and Captain Kamal asked us if we had any questions, smiling at us with this dashing twinkle in his eye. And when we didn't, I think we were still in that starry new recruit shock. When we didn't, he sent us to our quarters to unpack and relax a bit and prepare for placement. Ready or not, here comes more vomit. Gross. Placement. A set of 3 challenges that test each cadet's skills and compare them against one another before determining one's position in the crew. I am really hoping to get a pilot position or navigation or really any position other than engineering. Not that I couldn't do an engineering position, I'd just much rather be on the bridge as much as possible. As I may have mentioned a few times already, I'm hoping to work my way up to a captain position, and there are just some positions that lend themselves to that career path more than others. Not to mention working so closely with Captain Kamal! His name is Kamal. Kamal would definitely be a plus. The widest part of the oval primary sector, the main deck, is home to the dining hall, known to the crew as the lunchbox. It's the shiny-looking cafeteria that religiously observes Taco Tuesdays. The primary sector also includes Kamal's office and the bridge, which is filled with the most high-tech equipment imaginable, and to my own fangirl excitement, a place that closely resembles the control room of the Star Trek Enterprise. Ours is definitely wider and probably contains more advanced equipment than a 1960s sci-fi can offer. I mean, one would hope. And the immense amount of gum stuck underneath the Alpha Navigator's control panel is probably not exactly similar to the conditions of Sulu Station on the Enterprise, but it's still close enough to make me happy. Located not too far are our quarters. Members of Alpha are closest to the bridge, Beta second, both of which get their own private rooms. Omega crew members and cadets stay in the back of the ship and sleep 2 to a room. Alright, I'm gonna head back to my quarters to get dressed before placement. I'll talk to you soon. I am just about to enter the first placement test. Tech. Okay, so I'm sitting in my cubicle with a large screen in front of me. Any second now, a mix of code, alien and human languages will... Oh, shit! Sorry, I didn't expect it to start so abruptly. I just spent the last 30 minutes deciphering codes and translating messages. To the best of my ability. Well, I mean, the code was easy. I like to think of myself as a sci-fi Felicity Smoke. However, when it comes to languages, I know very little other than the 2 years of German I took in the academy. I also seem to just be a natural when it comes to French. Weird. Sorry, I zoned out there for a second. I guessed when it came to a lot of the language things, but ultimately placed 6 out of the 12 of us. Which, honestly, isn't terrible. I like to think Kirk might have done similarly in his cadet days, assuming that's how the Academy in that universe works. You know, I think I should stop making Star Trek references so often, or at least not so loudly, because earlier Chip heard me and definitely laughed about it.